Okay. For hamstring, again, you know, one of the things that we do in this class is, you know, don't forget the big picture. So a lot of people are pushing their partner and their legs way up here, and they're all faced this way, and this guy is like this high off the table. You have blown way past their end point, okay? So again, if I'm going to take James, you know, and for me, you know, I just look and I say, okay, that's his 90-90, okay? Now if I push him more, this leg's going to come up. So I'm just going to come through and stabilize that leg, right, so that I can then focus and isolate my stretch. So if I'm going to stretch his posterior hip or his hamstring, then his pelvis is going to want to posteriorly rotate to give him slack. Don't let it happen, okay? Same way, if you're doing hip flexor, he's going to want to anteriorly rotate. Don't let it happen. So if you're going to stabilize on his sacrum when he's face down, you're stabilizing down and towards a posterior tilt. Okay, so just look at the big picture. Even when you assess, you know, if I come here and I start to push up and I don't pay attention, the more I push this up, the more this leg is going to lift. Or I've seen a lot of times then you do the 90-90 and then you show them a doorway stretch and then this leg is flexed, which puts them in posterior tilt. And then their leg's up on the wall and they go, oh, I don't really feel much of a stretch. They don't feel a stretch because they're in posterior tilt. So this leg has to be flat. Okay? So, now, again, if this leg needs to be flexed because they get low back pain, because they have tight hip flexors, that when the leg's straight pulls them into extension, you have to clear them. Okay? But I would try to have them in the least amount of hip flexion on this side possible. So, you know, if I could put a pillow roll under here and say, okay, do you have low back pain? No. Then he's in far less of a posterior tilt with his leg here than with it bent all the way up. Okay? So again, realize there is a range of options. It's not just here or here. It's anywhere in between. Okay? So just think about that. So for self-stretching,